if you're working traditionally for Project 3, that means that you're making physical patterns. You're making your seamless repeating patterns physically, traditionally, and you need to take those patterns that you made physically, traditionally, and you need to actually make them fit the format. So if you remember, the format is this. It's 11 by 17 PDF, right? And each pattern is 8 by 10 inches. So this is an 8 by 10 inch pattern. This is an 8 by 10 inch pattern. And when the two patterns are centered on the page, there is a 1/2 inch border of white. Okay, easier said than done. First step is to scan. So whatever scanner you have, whether you use the school scanner, scanner at the library, or scanner at home, you're going to have an interface. So I'm going to open up my scanner, and regardless of what your scanner is, you're going to be able to control the resolution that it scans at. Okay, so I've got here, it says show details. You must have something similar on yours, and I can see right here, first it lets me choose whether it's color, black and white, so I definitely want color. It's giving me, so this is a very simple scanner. Its default is 75 dpi. Well, we need at least 300. If you're going to make your artwork exactly 8 by 10 inches, try making it just a bit bigger, okay? Just a little bit extra all the way around helps a lot, okay? If you didn't, that's fine. We'll deal with it. It's okay. But just to be safe, I like to scan higher. Now, in this case, it is a simple scanner. It doesn't let me specify. I would actually like to make it maybe just 400 dpi, but it's only letting me jump to 600. So that's what I will do with my scanner. Simple scanner, 600 dpi. This lets me choose where to save it, and then this lets me choose what the format is. I'm just going to save this as a PDF. Hit scan, and then let's go to the next step. So now I didn't have artwork here. I'm not actually scanning, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend that a student's work is my scan. Okay, this is the artwork. So this is Elha's artwork. Former student of mine, fantastic student, made these wonderful patterns. And we're going to assume that this is what I just scanned. Okay? So I'm going to open it in Photoshop. So this is right-clicking, open with Photoshop. And you can see her artwork actually is bigger than 8 by 10. It's 12 by 15. That's fine. So we're going to open it in Photoshop. Now, the reason why I would open this in Photoshop is because I want to check a couple of things. Like I want to see if it's RGB or CMYK, because I really do need this to be CMYK. And actually I can see up here it is RGB. So the way to change it to CMYK, go to Image, Mode at the top, CMYK color. Okay. Now it will change some of the colors a little bit. It actually didn't do too bad a job here. But if you need to change that, go to Layers. If you don't see Layers as a default, go to Window, click on Layers. What you're going to want to do is go down here to the bottom of the layers, and there's this little icon here. Click on that. There's a few different ways you can adjust colors. I'm just going to do it with levels and saturation. So with levels, what this lets you do is change the darks. Okay, so if I want it to be darker, I can change that. If I want the lights to be lighter, I can change that. But you don't want to go too drastic. So I'm going to go just a bit. Maybe you scanned it and it looks perfectly fine. If that's your case, just go with it. So that's levels. What I'll also do is hue saturation. If I go all the way to this end, it's too much. If I go all the way to the other end, it's too little. So if you do any adjustment, just slightly. Don't overdo it. Okay? So because I changed it to CMYK, I want to save a copy of this. So I'm going to hit Save As, and I'm going to call this, I already did pattern 1, so I'm calling this one pattern 2, CMYK. And I'm going to leave it as Photoshop. So PSD, save. All right, let's get out of this. And we're just going to make the final file in Adobe Illustrator. So open up Adobe Illustrator, and let's just review again what we want it to look like. We want it to be an 11 by 17 inch page. We want both of these patterns to sit inside it. So they're 8 by 10 inches, which means there's going to be a 1/2 inch white border all the way around. So let's set that up. New file. I'm going to make sure it's 17 inches, 11 by 11 inches, CMYK. Excellent. Create. Now I don't see any rulers here, and I need rulers because I need to make sure that I have that 1/2 inch all the way around. So what I'm going to want to do is view, rulers, show rulers. So there we go, I can see them. And luckily it says inches here. If you don't have inches, the way to fix it is go into settings and units. So I'll just show you if I made this picas. Okay, well now it's in picas. That doesn't help me. We need this in inches. So we're going to go back to settings, units, and the general units I'm going to make inches. Alright, so I'm going to zoom in, use the zoom tool, and I want to get right in there at about the 1/2 inch mark. There we go, 1/2 inch. The way to draw a guide is to click and drag from the ruler to the point that I need it at. So I'm just going to eyeball it, and I'm just going to put it down at the 1/2 inch mark, and I'm going to do the same this way. So the horizontal, I just want it to hit that 1/2 inch mark. Alright, if I hit Command 0 or Windows 0, zoom out. Now I'm going to zoom into the opposite corner, and now I'm just going to draw the other one. So 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and this one was quite a bit off, so I'm going to use the black arrow tool. I'm going to move it again, see if I can hit that 1/2 inch mark. There, that's better. That's a lot closer. Okay, good. So again, Command 0 or Windows 0. So now I'm zoomed out in the layers palette right here. I've got all my guides here. I'm just going to lock that, and I'm going to double click here and call it guides. I'll make a new layer, and in this new layer I'm going to put my artwork. So let's grab my patterns. I've got pattern 1, go in, click in here, and I'll just move it over, and my other pattern, pattern 2, my CMYK one, click, good. So they're both in here. Now they're really big, so let me just, and this is, you might have the same thing where you're looking at it going, this is just way too big. That's okay. If you click Shift, you can make it smaller. So you grab the corner and click Shift, hold it down, and then you can, make it smaller. My rule of thumb is make it just a little bit bigger than the space that it's going into. So I know that it needs to go in there, and it's still quite a bit bigger. So I'm just going to make it smaller. I want it to fit there. So it's there. It's a bit bigger. That's fine. Okay, let's do the same with the other one. Make it smaller. Okay, so now I made it too small. I'm going to have to make it bigger. And I'm going to actually make it about the same size as the other one. So we need to crop them. So I'll choose my image, and I'm going to go up to Object, Crop Image. And it's just mentioning here, cropping the linked file embeds a copy of the original. The original file at the linked location is not affected. Basically what it's saying is, if I crop it in here, it doesn't affect the image. Like, it's not affecting the image that I actually placed in here. So, okay. I could kind of try to eyeball it and make sure that I get it as close as I can. Or I have this other option up here. I can input the exact measurement, and that makes more sense to me. So I'm going to hit 8 here and 10. It has now made it 8 by 10. I'll hit Apply. And now all I have to do is click it into place. So, and it does click into place, and that's because I have Smart Guides selected. So if I went to View, Smart Guides, and they're checked. I'll just show you if I go to View, Smart Guides, unclick that. Now when I try to put it in place, it's hard. It's not clicking into place. So let's bring back that Smart Guides and let's just click it into place. Okay, let's do the same thing with the other one. So I've got it selected, Object, Crop Image. Got the same warning again, and it's giving me something else here. Now let's see, if I hit 8 here, good, and let's hit 10 here. So it's giving me some trouble here, not sure why, but let's try eyeballing it first. I'm going to try expanding it a little bit. Hopefully this will help. Okay, so just me trying to input the amount in there, it didn't work like last time. Not sure why. But I think maybe the difference is that I was actually trying to change the shape of the other one first before I put in the exact amount. So let's try that. So I've kind of, it looks like it's about right. I'm going to hit 8 here. Ah, worked. And then 10 here. See if this works. Yes, it did work. Okay, so just a little, if you hit that, just make sure you do that. Just manually move around that crop, and then you can go in and just put in the exact amount in here. So apply that, and it's fine. It all worked out. Now I'm going to want that to be on the other side, and get that to click into place. Done. So it looks like I wasn't perfect. There's a little bit of a space, a little gap in between them. I'm not going to worry about that. First thing I'm going to want to do is save that. So File, Save. Okay, and I'm going to save the AI version of it. So we'll just call it Final Patterns. It's a good idea to put your name in there too, but we're just going to hit Save, Final Patterns. So Adobe Illustrator, AI, Save. Okay. And now I'm going to want to export my final version. So the PDF that I'm going to submit to Slate, I'll hit Export, Export As, and then Final Patterns. Make sure it's not PNG, so that was the default here. Make sure it is PDF. Export, and it's going to ask me what kind of preset do I want. I always choose PDF X 1A 2001 because this is the North American printing standards. It seems to work every time. Export PDF. And that's it. I'm done. So that PDF that I just saved, that's the one that's going to be uploaded to Slate. So I hope that helps for anybody who's working traditionally. If you don't need to do any adjustments to your colors or anything like that, no color correction, you can skip the whole Photoshop thing. I always like to do some color correction just because I'm picky. And also because scanners, you know, they're not perfect. So that's it. Good. So hopefully that helps. And I can't wait to see your final patterns.